I could take some out of this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, this is Benny.
And this is Dhruv. And today we are going to review the trailer of the Nigerian movie called Ponzi. It's a 2021 movie. It came out in March. There is a description on Google, so let's read from there. Ponzi is a 2021 Nigerian comedy film based on the victims' 2016 MMM Ponzi scheme. It was written by Toluwani Obayan, produced by Vincent Okonkwo, and directed by Kayode Kasum. It stars Jide Kosoko, Chinyere Wilfred, Timini Egbuson, Tope Tedela, Broda Shaggi, and Mr. Macaroni. It was released theatrically on 12th March 2021. What is the MMM Ponzi scheme? Let's see what that is. MMM Global, also known as MMM 2011, MMM 2012, is a Ponzi scheme launched in 2011 by Sergei Mavrodi with subsidiaries in up to 110 countries. It became widely popular in various African countries like South Africa, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Ghana, with some attributing this popularity to poverty and poor government regulation or law enforcement. What is a Ponzi scheme? Is a form of fraud that lures investors and pays profits to earlier investors with funds from more recent investors.
Oh.
That is very, very interesting. Sad too.
Sad.
Yeah, let's see. But they're gonna do it with comedy, so let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah. Like we had what was it? Special 26, Special 26, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
But that's also done with levity, more levity than anything else. It's such a heavy subject, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was also fraud. Like, okay, so Special Chubbies, just to give really quick context, is about people impersonating income tax agents and doing raids on wealthy people. They were snatching black money away, but they were not really income tax people. They were just commoners posing as income tax people. And that actually, that is based on true events, that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That actually did happen, which blows my mind.
But at least those people were raiding the rich guys, which is of course not fair. But in Golmaal, they talk about this thing, you know, Golmaal. Akshay Kumar is kind of, he falls into a scheme by Bipasha Basu, where she says, okay, you give us some money, you invest this money and you'll make twice as much within 21 days. And then Akshay Kumar, he goes and tries to thug
Rajpal
Yadav. And this guy then falls in a complete debt because of that. And he gets in serious trouble because of that.
Yeah. But basically, it's just, fraud. In short.
Nah, man. I suppose don't hammer.
All this money first, my hand they pay me.
I suppose don't settle down.
I go make us something. Where my money? I go give you your money. You don't hear about Wasiu? Wasiu will win 5.2 million. Wait, Wasiu that Okada guy?
I'm in Atanadi for you. You think I'm about to?
Take demographics, hopes, frustrations, ambitions. Mix it all up. A perfect recipe for what? Ponzi!
Motherland, baby!
Seriously, what do you guys do for fun over here?
Ever heard of NSAS?
Welcome, Jesus.
Brother?
I love your brother, Bobby. I give everybody waiting here 4 days. You get 4 days to refund my money.
Every single person in this close is about to be stinking rich. Richvest. We invest in the U.S. gold treasury.
I have it all plan in my head already. You understand? I know the plan of the house. We do money heist.
Are you a winner? Are you a winner?
So it looked very interesting. What I loved about it is that I felt, I could be wrong, that there was no one main character. It's a story of these people and various different characters, and it's a story of everyone. So of course there's poorer people who invested in this, but there's also some richer folks they showed, right? And at the end they showed that a richer man crying or something or whatever. Like everyone, it seems like, suffered from this. And this is yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. If there is more poverty in certain regions, obviously they would be like, I'm very poor anyways, why not try something, right? Like, what is there to lose? I mean, of course I would lose something, but the risk analysis there is like the loss. If I profit, oh my gosh, but if I lose, I'm already poor, you know. This also, it's kind of an epidemic in a way. A rumor is like an epidemic. It's like, do you know, have you heard of this? And you know, this rumor, this kind of hysteria, obviously it spreads in general. Like stock market is one of those examples, right? Like what happened with GameStop recently. It was some users on Reddit talking about it, and they wanted to go against the big hedge funds and big investors, and big investors were betting against GameStop to bring its prices down and all that. And these people were like, no, let's show them. And then the stock prices went higher, but that was like through a thread on Reddit. It was not like anything else. But it's a little bit of a different example. But my point is, when someone starts a rumor and starts believing something, hey, did you hear? Same goes with cryptocurrency also. Like it went so high up. It's all this buzz, right? People start following the buzz, and especially if you are poor, or if you're in a desperate situation. If you're in a good place, you're going to be less affected by it because you're going to be like, I'm in a good place. But if you are in a bad situation, if you're poor, you need money, you're going to be like, let me not miss this chance. Let me really invest in this, and that will change my life. So that's why so many people, I think, fell for it and suffered a lot. Like I felt like the movie is turned as comedy, and I'm sure there is a lot of comedy in that, like most Nigerian movies do, but I think it also brings to light what actually happened then. And it's strange, I have not heard about this thing before.
True. In the beginning, we see in the trailer, there's a guy sitting on the car and he's giving a lot of money to this guy. And that guy is looking at it. From his expression, you don't see any greed. He's just like, could this be real? You know, and eventually he's telling other people about it. And it seems like he is genuinely trying to, you know, not only uplift himself, but uplift the others who are in a same situation like him, like poverty. You know, he feels that, okay, maybe this is our ticket out of this thing. Maybe, I mean, we were born poor, maybe we'll just die poor. We need to do something about it, and this is what this one chance. We don't know whether it's right or wrong, and who knows about right and wrong. We just need to be able to, you know, give ourselves a chance. If something like this is possible, then what's the harm in doing it? We're living a miserable life anyways. Maybe we can, you know, come out of it, and maybe the future generations will have a better opportunity because of this. And you find that guy is trying to kind of convince the others that we can come out of this. This is what I felt from the trailer. And I don't think that there's anything wrong about that. I mean, if you are downtrodden, if you are poor anyways, you're living a miserable life, you have no idea about what you're going to do tomorrow, a person would take a chance.
Yeah, and the thing is that at the same time, right, this went downhill. Of course, what happened was terrible. But I also really believe that if there is no risk, there is no reward, right? That like you don't take a risk, if you don't do anything different, you don't try anything else, then there's not going to be any changes in your life. You have to take risks. You have to try something different. If the current situation you are in is not good, you have to do something different from it. And in that sense, it completely makes sense that they were like, yeah, things will change. Like, and that guy, as you said, he looked genuine. He's like, let's do this. And which is so sad. It's even sadder for poor people because they hardly have anything. They are themselves like limited to things, and then this kind of a blow happens, which I don't know how they recovered, what they had to do. Like at the same time, I mean, maybe this is a privileged talk, but how much you risk has to be what you can handle.
Yeah.
That's also another aspect to it, that risk taking is very, very important, but understand that you're not supposed to put 100% of your whatever into that risk. Maybe put 20%, 30%, and maybe you won't be as rich in the beginning, but if it takes time to understand the game, right? Like there is no handbook, and actually like our education systems or whatever, they don't teach us how to build money. You are only taught to be an employee at the end of the day. You're not taught to figure out a way to build wealth. And I don't know if it's intentional, if it's not, whatever it is, but it is a problem. And so
it is a problem.
Yeah, for anyone, right? Like whether it's middle class, whether it's poor people, and many of the rich people are rich because of their parents were rich. Like how many people have actually made it from down there to like from a 0 to 100? Very, very few people on the planet, right? Very few people have cracked that code. So what is the right way to go about with this? Like no one knows that. Except now you know a little bit. If you look up on YouTube, some channels are good. But yeah, what is a poor person supposed to do? I completely understand their reasoning for doing this.
This reminds me of an autobiography that I read of Booker T. Washington, if I'm not wrong. Booker T. Washington, have you heard of him? He was born a slave, and then I think he educated himself and he became a author, and what else I don't know. But there's this autobiography that I read of his, and he was very poor, born to a mother who was a slave, and he talks about how his mother used to emphasize upon values. He was sent to school. That was a great difficult thing to achieve at that time, but the thing was that it was mandatory, it was compulsory for students in the school to wear a cap, a hat, a cap, something like that, and they couldn't afford one, and he used to come home and he used to tell his mother that this is something that I need to have, and she managed to sew a hat for him out of something. They didn't even have enough pieces of cloth, but she managed to gather that and she sewed it, and then he got a hat to wear. That's how he managed to do that. They managed to do that, and he talks about that value that his mother imbibed in him. But then again, I feel that when you're hungry day in and day out, when you don't know whether you're going to be able to survive the next 24 hours, I don't know how much every person is able to give value to values. Values are always going to keep you on the safe side, but are they going to keep you alive? That's a completely different question.
And actually, that's a good point you bring up, because many a times we understand, yes, how much value you can give to values. Like, it sounds like a choice that you are choosing to do this or choosing to do that. But many a times your brain is not able to function to think of it as a choice. You kind of like automatically start behaving in a way that is required for your survival. It's not like a logical, like, if it's this, then it's this. Like, people don't understand that. Like, privileged people don't understand it because they've never been in that situation. Like, there was this one time, right, there's this story about a plane crash in the Andes where a whole football team had crashed in the Andes, and a lot of people died, and they were stuck there for quite some time. And many of the football team players had to eat the dead bodies of other players. And you're like, how can people, and this has happened in other instances too, in very, very harsh circumstances. But someone is like, how can you do that? And even I felt that, but I also know that I wasn't in that situation. Like, what hunger can make you do, your body goes into autopilot. And same goes for stress and dire circumstances. Your brain goes into autopilot and just does what's needed to be done to survive that situation. And it's no longer a choice after that. It's just what you do.
Yeah. If you're drowning, you're going to catch a straw. That's as simple as that. Now, that straw could be a snake, but you're going to catch it because you're drowning anyways.
That's a good example, because remember in Titanic when everybody was drowning in that movie, right? And there was this lady who started drowning Kate Winslet.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And she wasn't meaning to drown her. She was just trying to survive, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Like, you don't know. It just happens. And it's
Yes.
your survival instinct kicking in like a wild animal, that you're trying to survive your circumstances. And it's not no longer a choice where she is like, oh, should I do that to her? Like, if she had a choice, obviously she wouldn't do that. Hopefully. So, yeah, I think it's a very good concept. It's something I didn't know of. Maybe it kind of rings a bell. Maybe I did hear about it, but I don't think it, I don't know if it affected India or not, but you know, it kind of does ring a bell, actually. I might have forgotten about it.
Even I've heard Ponzi is not an unfamiliar word.
Yeah.
That's what I keep thinking about, but I have no context to it. I mean, even after reading and watching about it, I don't remember anything about it. But yes, it's not an unfamiliar word.
So think about this. This happened so many years ago, 2011, 2012, right? And they made a movie about it in 2021, which means that this would have affected them so badly. It would have really, really affected all the people. And I would like to read more about it, you know, after we're done with the review. But it would have impacted the people so badly that they're still talking about it after after almost a decade. Which is, and I hope that with this experience, there are measures in place to figure out to not have this happen again, right? This kind of stuff happens, but then there should be some policies, some measures in place, some guidelines. Like when the recession happened in 2008 in the US, it was because banks gave out too much loan, and there were no good measures to say, can this person even pay off the home loan or not? But after that, they learned, and now there's so many processes to you even qualifying to getting a home loan, right? So there are policies in place. And I hope that after this, there are policies in place in Nigeria to not have this happen to people.
I feel it's, you know, these kind of things are like the coronavirus. They keep mutating into new forms, and I mean, if somebody's going to scheme, they are going to scheme. And if you're going to fall for it, you're going to fall for it. There's going to be different ways in how this is going to happen. It's going to happen anyways. I mean, you can try and avoid the same mistake, but the mistake will be in another form the next time. because that's how conning is, how it goes.
Yeah,
you
but
come
it's
up with a
important.
tedious plan.
Right, but it's important, just like, we have had polio and measles and whatnot, and there have been like measures in place too, and then the virus evolves and you have new problems to face. But at least this same kind of a problem should not be happening, is what I'm saying. Like that is our job. That is people's jobs and government's jobs to make sure that this doesn't happen again. The same thing. It might mutate, and of course, that's how life is, but yeah, there should be policies. I hope that there are policies in place for this to not happen, because this is really sad. All right, guys, so if you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and also hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Also, if you liked our video, actually go ahead and like it and leave us a comment to let us know how we are doing, or if there is anything else that you want to see us discussing. Until next time, फिर मिलेंगे.
फिर मिलेंगे.